Welcome to the second part of my discussion. In the first part, we've talked about the power of social media, right? And we've realized how powerful it is. It gives us power for information, right? It gives us power for connection, connecting to other people despite distances. It gives us power to express ourselves in a wider audience and a lot more. All right, but just like what Superman said, great power comes great responsibility. So after realizing how powerful social media, it's about time also to realize our part to become responsible social media users. Alright, but before that, I want you to watch this video first. I want you to internalize it because it has something to do with our topic.
The idea of, posting and having a lot of people see it can definitely be kind of scary.
If you're a teenager, you're gonna make bad decisions sometimes.
They can screenshot it, they can do so many things to save that, and they can edit it in ways that you won't want them to.
Whether or not you think it'll go away, it's there. Anything you post online, you're stuck with.
Oversharing to me is putting too much of your personal life in front of a wide audience of people.
Posting something for the sake of showing that you're there and maybe not because you're actually having that great of a time.
Posting about things that people don't necessarily think are significant, but they're just kind of posting to be posting.
What you share and how often you share is going to affect the way that somebody views you. Just because I'm going to post all the time, that doesn't mean that you're going to get all the attention. That doesn't mean that everybody's going to like you.
For example, people have like Finstas or spam accounts where they just like post random stuff, and sometimes they get too personal with what they're talking about on there.
Things that are meant to be texted one-to-one, people tend to post online so 50 other people can see their plans for tomorrow or the next weekend. You could be doing something like that could potentially endanger yourself by making your account public and saying too much about where you live or who you are.
When I'm in like a cool location and I want to show everybody where I am, but most of the time I'll just tag where I am on like a Snapchat story so people can know.
So once you put something online, it can be there forever because people might take screenshots, they might record it, they might save it.
I don't think people don't realize that it's going to be there forever. I think they just don't care. A lot of people have this mentality of like, what I'm doing is very insignificant. Why is anyone gonna care about this?
You should be cautious of what you post. Don't post your pictures and think like, okay, nobody's seeing me, nobody's screenshotting me, nobody doing nothing, because people doing that, you're just not gonna know.
Your Snapchats, despite the fact that they only last, 4 to 8 seconds, they're still there. Your Instagram stories that go away after 24 hours, they're still there.
Anything that is posted, anything that's up, no matter what happens, even if you leave it up for a minute and take it down, it's there as soon as you put it up there.
No one's going to scrutinize everything that you say the same way that you might.
You are not obliged to post every second of your life in order to please what you might seem as the majority of people. So when you feel like you have to post all the time, when you feel like you have to do this in order to get fame and attention, you don't. It's not your job.
That's something you always have to be thinking about. What do you want people to remember you on social media as?
Alright, so let's have social, ethical, and legal responsibilities in the use of social media. But before that, for me to determine if you are really watching and listening attentively, I think you are required to submit an output for this one. Alright, so it's entitled My Rights and Responsibilities. So we have here a Venn diagram, and you just need to write down your responsibilities, your rights and responsibilities as a Filipino citizen. as part of a smaller Filipino community in your barangay or in your subdivision or in the place where you are right now. And on the right side of the Venn diagram, you need to write down the rights and responsibilities you think as a digital citizen. Alright, in the middle, if there are similarities between the two, you need to write it at the middle of the Venn diagram. Okay, so you need to submit it to your Nstp teacher. Alright, so let's have digital citizenship. Okay, so since we are considered citizen of the community where we live in, so we can also call ourselves as citizens of the digital world, where we live, we learn, and we work in an interconnected manner. So when we say digital citizenship, that is actually an idea that all persons using the internet have civic rights and responsibilities. It centers around a safe, savvy, and ethical use of technology. So start calling yourself now a digital citizen. Alright, so a good digital citizen is an advocate for equal digital rights and access for all. We need to realize that not all people ay kasing palad mo. There are actually some people who doesn't own mobile phone. Alright, and there are 5 million school-age children who doesn't have internet access at home. Alright, so as much as we would like to brag about the things that we have, the new phone that you just bought, a new computer set that someone gave you, let's try to have empathy for others, because we don't live just for ourselves, we also live for others, right? So let's start being an advocate for equal digital rights and access for the internet or for the social media. A good digital citizen seeks to understand all perspectives. The reason why clashes happens in the internet, in Facebook, specifically in Twitter, there are some clashes about ideas, about opinions. That's simply because we do not try to understand the perspective of others. We are always after debate, we are always after competition, na mas magaling ako kaya sa kanya, mas tama ako kaya sa kanya. At this time that self-expression is really given emphasis for us, it's also important for us to understand different perspectives, that not all have the same perspective as us. So we need to respect, we need to understand them, to avoid conflicts, to avoid arguments. A good digital citizen respects digital privacy, intellectual property, and the other rights of other people online. Alright, so we need to understand na hindi lang tayo, when you sign up on a certain social networking site, hindi lang ikaw yung may karapatan. Even those people na naglalagin doon, may karapatan sila. So let us not be self-centered. As much as we would like others to respect us, we should also respect them. Alright, so specifically, if it's about intellectual property, taking a certain post, taking a certain intellectual property is crime. Okay, so we need to give credit to the original owner of that property, and that's how it works online. So a good digital citizen communicates and acts with empathy for others' humanity via digital channels. So you know what? 88% of teens who use social media have witnessed other people being cruel online. Okay? That's what I've told you a while ago. That people are starting to become cruel, people are starting to become insensitive. Okay? Just for us to express ourselves, we'll do it in the expense of others. Kahit makasakit ka ng damdamin, kahit maka-offend ka ng tao, it's okay just for you to express yourself. And that's wrong. alright? So in this time, we need to have empathy for others. Let us not promote cruelty. Let us promote respect. Good digital citizen applies critical thinking to all online sources and doesn't share non-credible resources, including fake news or advertisements. Okay, so this is very rampant nowadays. Some people unknowingly, we become part or we become contributors of fake news. A certain post na nakita mo, pinaniwalaan mo agad, and then you share it. Alright, tapos may nakabasa nung sinare mo. And then, yun, yung effect nun, tuloy-tuloy na hanggang sa kumalat na yung post. So, other people get wrong information and you become contributor in the spread of that false information. And that's very dangerous. A good digital citizen leverages technology to advocate for and advance social issues. Alright, so, and one social issues that we need to have this time is environmental protection, sustainability. Alright, so it's true that we can stop modernization. Technology will continue to upgrade. Social media will continue to upgrade. Alright, but we also need to realize that we also need to protect environment. Alright, because this is the place where we live in, and these are the primary sources of the things that we need to survive. Alright, so in not just environmental protection, there are so many social issues that we need to consider and use technology to become an advocate for any social issues na nakikita natin na kinakailangan ng pansin. So a good digital citizen is mindful of the physical, emotional, and mental health while using digital tools. Alright, imagine, 94% of teen drivers acknowledge the danger while texting and driving. But 35% admitted to doing it anyway. Imagine, you know that a certain thing can cause danger to you, but ano yung halaga ng isang bagay na alam natin kung hindi naman natin ina-apply? So while you are digital tools, you need to be responsible. Will it affect me emotionally? Will it affect me physically? Will it affect me mentally? You need to be aware of the consequences of your actions. Alright, so a good digital citizen leverages digital tools to collaborate with others. It's about time for us to promote collaboration. Alright, because just like the famous quotation, coming together is the beginning, putting together is progress, but working together is success. We need to realize how beautiful is the world if people are working together, if people are putting their efforts together, are collaborating with each other. Alright, so a good digital citizen understands the permanence of the digital world and proactively manages digital identity. You need to realize that one word you post, many people can see that. One picture you post online, all eyes can see you. So you need to understand the permanence of everything we post online. Alright? Because at the end of the day, you will reap what you sow. Every one of us should have this altruistic service. When you say altruism, this is having selfless concern with the well-being of others. So as a responsible netizen, we need to follow and abide with certain netiquette guidelines. The first one is that you need to protect your reputation. Again, it's for you. It's for your own sake. Protect your reputation. Whether in real or in virtual world, you are the same person. So do only the appropriate things online and share only information that does not harm you as a person. Next, respect others. Again, respect begets respect. If you want to be respected, respect them. That's one of the major things that we need to apply as a netizen, as a responsible netizen. Next, express yourself clearly and use emoticons. Somehow, misinterpretations happens online. This is your statement and people misinterpreted you. The reason is that in actual, people can see our emotions. People can see if we are happy. People can see if you are a bit frustrated or disappointed, if you are angry. But online, when you type a certain message, people can see your emotion. So somehow, it can cause misinterpretation. So that is why emoticons were invented or were developed for it to serve as an alternative para maipakita natin yung emotion natin in a certain statement or in a certain word na binibigkas natin online. Alright, so again, we need to use emoticons and express ourselves clearly to avoid confusions, to avoid misinterpretations, and to avoid arguments. Alright, so next, remember the intellectual property. So ideas online are products of intelligence of others. So we need to cite or to give credit. If we want a certain post, give credit to them. I am sure you do not want to own a certain property. So remember intellectual property. Next, check spelling, grammar, and punctuation. This is very important. When you want to post something, be mindful of the correctness of your word. Again, just like yung sinasabi natin na this is my post, this is my Facebook account, this mine, alright? And people should not care of what's mine. But in the real life, you are always prone to people's judgment. So we need to be mindful, especially when it comes to grammar. When you post something, statement, and you are not sure, let others check. Alright? Let others help you para hindi tayo ma-judge ng iba. Pause before you post. This is actually similar to a famous tagline, think before you click. Again, without knowing, everything we post, everything we upload, everything we share to the world has consequence. It might affect you, it might affect others, it might affect people you don't know. So sometimes we need to be mindful. We need to pause, we need to think first before we click, before we post something. Alright? So that is one way of being a responsible netizen. Okay, next, do not share your personal information. This is very important. Sa panahon natin ngayon, that scams, okay, mga panloloko, identity theft, ay very rampant sa social media. Let us not allow them to do it to us. Alright? Madaming posters, dami accounts, di ba? And some people, kinukuha yung identity mo kasi you let your information, you let your life to be an open book for all. Alright? So, try to filter the information that you are sharing to others. Alright? And then last, think about who or what you are representing. In a certain social media platform, let's say in Twitter, alright? Or in Facebook, everybody knew you. But you also need to be mindful that you are not just representing yourself. As a son or as a daughter, you represent your family. As a student, you represent your school. Diba? As an individual, you represent your community. So you need to be mindful na hindi lang sarili mo ang represent mo online. You also represent a certain group of people. Your family, your community, your school, and many more. Alright? So think about it. Those are the things that we need to remember always. Alright? So again, with all the powers that social media give to us, there's also some responsibilities na kasama nun. As a person, as a digital citizen, we need to become responsible. Alright? For our own sake, for the sake of our family, and for the sake of others. So I know you have learned something from me. I hope you have learned something from me. And thank you for listening. I've enjoyed this. Although this one is pre-recorded, but I know you've learned something from me. So again, I am Mr. Christian Lee. Thank you for listening.
We, the digital citizens, with our hands up in the air, pledge to travel safely when we click from here to there. If you want to see the world, you don't always need a plane, a giant yellow school bus, or a noisy train. You just need the internet and something with a screen to see a different country or a pretty ocean scene. If you've ever seen a sloth or a pic of Angry Sue, just go online and check them out. Remember what to do. Always ask a grown-up before you go online. It's good to set a limit and keep track of your time. That's right. Keep your info private, like your name and your address. And always find a grown-up if you're scared or you're stressed. If you want to see the world, you don't always need a plane, a giant yellow school bus, or a noisy train. You just need the internet and something with a screen to play an awesome puzzle game or watch a soccer team. So go online and check them out. Remember what to do, to do, to do, to do. Always pause and think when visiting a site. Only talk to friends you know and never start a fight. It's fun to have a screen to laugh and play with friends, but if it's nice, go outside and find the rainbow's end. If you want to see the world, you don't always need a plane, a giant yellow school bus, or a noisy train. You just need the internet and something with a screen to be a part of something great, whatever you can dream. Remember that you took this pledge to be your best online. So stick with the Dig Citizens, and together, you will shine.